This is Nosey with Good Intentions, the podcast.
In every nook and cranny.
This is Michael.
And Kirk. Guiding your noses today.
That worked! Okay, what's on your mind this week? Or would you like me to just tell you what's on my mind?
I'm always interested in what's on your mind.
So I'm the nosier one, is what you say.
I'm nosy by asking you what's going on in your head.
What are we starting with? I can't not read your handwriting.
So have you ever had a friend stay at your house till they got their shit together?
I have not. But if they needed to, I would be okay with that.
What would that look like?
I think it depends on the level of shit they need to get together.
Do you have a limit?
Yeah. If you have caused your own self-destruction, my level of
So they need to submit an application. You need to interview the candidate. Gotcha.
No, I think if it's a friend of mine,
you're like, that's a personal problem, can't stay here.
I mean,
seats taken.
You said, all right, Forrest. No, I think it depends on what you're starting with. Now, if you got fired from a job and you trying to get back on your feet and stuff like that, cool. Or if you're going through a divorce and you and your old lady, you need somewhere to crash while you go through all the bullshit, cool. Have you been gambling and stupid shit like that? Nah, bro. You might get a month. You probably won't even get a month. You might get a couple weeks. Because there's varying degrees of self-destruction versus something that was beyond your control. Your company, say when COVID hit, your company downsized and like fired half the staff.
Okay.
That's totally different. That's not something you did to cause yourself to be in dire straits.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? But if you coming with some bullshit because you just ain't, you haven't started adulting yet, even though we've been adults for quite some time.
Just a handful of years.
Yeah. It might be dead.
Okay.
What would you do?
Well, I have an actual situation.
Okay.
Person got fired. Uh-huh. This is when I lived in the North undisclosed location.
I'm sorry I'm smacking all in the mic, but I'm hungry.
I mean, I ate the whole time.
Yeah, but
if you watch the video, I ate the whole time. I'm currently holding food in my hand right now. As I'm chewing another piece of food.
No table.
I had a situation in the North undisclosed location.
Okay.
Where a friend had gotten fired because they weren't doing their job.
Ooh.
Well, they moved in and they were in the process of starting a new job.
Okay.
So they didn't, pay anything at the beginning because they were between jobs.
Okay.
And then I don't think they ever paid anything.
Wait, how long did they stay?
They were there for a couple months.
What's a couple? Like 3? 2 to 3?
I'd say 4.
That's a few.
Is that a few?
That's on the cusp of a few.
Okay.
But, okay.
I don't remember. The problem is I don't remember.
Okay. It was more than a month, though.
But I don't think they did. I think every once in a while they would buy some groceries and, cook. And that was their,
gratitude?
Yeah.
Okay. How long before they got the second job? I mean, how long from getting fired to getting a new job? How long was that?
They got the new job and then they got fired.
What?
They got fired from the first job.
Right.
Where I also worked.
Okay.
Then they got the new job.
How long was that time span between the first firing and the first new job?
A month.
Okay, that's not bad.
3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, that's not bad. Same field?
Similar.
Okay.
I just fixed my hair. Then it was probably a month and they got fired.
So they were at the beginning of getting back on their feet and got fired a month later.
Pretty much.
Okay, how long before the next job?
They went back home.
Oh.
They weren't from the undisclosed location.
Okay. I got to ask about this off the mic. But anyway. Okay, so how much longer could they have stayed at your house?
Probably for as long as they wanted to, really.
You telling me they can just jump from job to job to job and keep bullshitting?
It wasn't solely my decision whether they stayed or not.
Okay.
was a council.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had a union.
So that was also part of it too.
Okay. What did the council have to say about it? Were they like, this is
They
cool?
left before it got to that point where it was like, all right, we may have to have a conversation.
Oh, okay. So it didn't get to the brink. Was it close?
Also, part of the council was also not working.
So their opinion had
so they couldn't really be like, get your shit together.
Because their shit wasn't together.
Correct.
Okay, so they don't want to be hypocritical is what you're saying.
It might have been a smidge hypocritical.
Okay. Yeah, you can't stay at my house for so long.
Well, I have a current situation where I've offered. This has been a few months ago. Well,
it's the same person?
You know what? Now that I think about it, it's been...
Wait, this is the same...
It was earlier this year. No, this year.
This year?
Yeah.
The same person?
No.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck? What? They still ain't got this shit
Where
together?
Did you get the same person from?
You said it happened this year, and I'm like...
Yeah.
The same type of situation, but not the same person.
Well, my offer.
Oh, okay.
All this topic stems from me and you talking about this at work because I brought it up to you that I had offered to a friend of mine. Yeah. They're in a situation which is a little complex.
Right.
And I don't have a nickname for them yet.
That's fine.
We'll do banana pudding.
You ain't going to remember, but go ahead.
I'm not going to remember it. Banana pudding. We'll say banana pudding.
Okay.
Banana pudding is in a situation where he may or may not be married to someone of the opposite sex, and he is not
oriented that way.
Orientated. He's orientated a little different.
Okay.
And they've had a conversation. Like, it's not
right. She's aware of said orientation.
She's in the know.
Yes. Okay.
She's in the know that she's not. Or in the orientated
She's
state.
not of his persuasion. Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, but it was one of those things where I was like, look, in all seriousness, at the time, there was no only, I was, we've been friends forever. Mm-hmm. And I just said, if you need it, there's a bedroom here. You're welcome to, if you need that stepping stone between your current situation and a new situation, I can be that stepping stone for you if you would like. He's not banana pudding is not taking me up on the offer, nor has he ever brought it up again except for once.
Okay.
But I just wondered. We talked about that at work because I was like, I just wonder. Like, I genuinely offered that. Mm-hmm. I don't just offer that to anybody.
Right.
Nobody else has gotten that offer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was like I wondered. Like, is that something that happens? Do other people offer as well?
Yeah, I think so. I have an example, but I'm not going to, the example, but other people don't need to know this person's business. So I'm not going to, there's a very close loved one, came to stay with me. They had gotten catfished by a guy. And so they had to come stay with me in Virginia Beach. I'm trying to tread lightly because of who the person is. You know who it is.
Just the location.
Well, I don't live in Virginia Beach no more.
Well, we've eliminated that as where you live.
But this is a person that I hold dear to my heart, but it got rough, like because this person had given all their money away to the catfish.
Because it was that kind of catfish.
Yeah, it was a fake relationship, and so.
It wasn't a catfish like I just don't like how I look, and I'm gonna lead you on, and so I have somebody to talk to.
No, it was.
I want you to send me money.
Yeah, I think we're together. In this person's mind, we're together. We're the whole nine, and so it got a little tense because there was a time while living with me, they had gotten their last vacation pay and all that other stuff that comes with resigning from a job. Like, person left their job and everything because of all this shit. And was kind of screwed up, financially screwed up. So came to live with me. And then while living with me, I said, hey, I don't want nothing from you. Do whatever you want to do. You can be here as long as you want. And all of that was the truth at the time.
Day one.
Yes.
I think it's easy on day one to be like, help yourself.
Right.
You're always welcome. Mi casa es su casa.
Absolutely.
Day 1 is always the easiest time to say that.
Yes.
Month 3 gets a little harder to say it.
Yeah. Especially when they're complaining about other people that live in the house, but they're entitled to live in that house.
You know I have a situation.
Yeah.
Is that the one you thought I was going to talk about?
Huh? Yeah, no. I'm not sure which one
Mommy
you're
Dearest.
Mommy Dearest. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. But yeah. So we got to a point and I was just like, I want to go in full detail, but I can't. So in the nutshell, if I love and care for you, you can come live with me for as long as you need to, as long as you're not bullshitting.
So if you're out there.
You want somewhere to stay?
If you're out there and you ask Michael to stay and he goes, I'm sorry, we're full up, no room at the inn, it means he doesn't love you nor care about you. Just while you're out there, Camber 1.
Absolutely. You can't stay at my house unless I got love for you. But no, it got to a point though, but this person stayed with me 6 to 8 months. And no progress is really being made except for by the people who already live there, that are supposed to live there.
Mm-hmm.
So only contribution from this person was like helping to cook and clean, but I didn't need that.
But you know what? Let me say this though. If you're willing to clean once a week, that is a huge help.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Like when you're like, if you're staying in a place where we're all at work or school and you can clean and that's one less thing off my to-do list, especially that's a biggie off the to-do list.
It's definitely helpful.
Yeah.
But
it's not rent money.
Fuck no, it ain't rent money. And when you help run up lights and water, yeah, it is a good start. But if you're only doing that and you're doing nothing else to contribute, but you're taking and taking and taking, and the little bit you do have, you given to this idiot that you think is real, it's time to let that go.
Yeah.
And so this person had to leave. They're back on their feet wonderfully. I'm not, again, don't worry about who it is. But so it's all good and all things are back to normal. However, at the time, it got very stressful. And so...
Because it put a strain.
Fuck yeah. It definitely put a strain on my household. So I think if you're going to do it, you got to set boundaries. But everybody's boundaries with other people are dependent on the other person. Like you're going to have different boundaries with your homeboy versus your spouse. You're going to have a different boundary with your parents versus coworkers. Like each boundary line is a little adjusted based on who the person is. The person on the other side of the boundary. And so would you let a former friend come live with you?
Like we're not friends anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not friends?
Maybe you grew apart. Maybe nothing malicious happened.
Maybe.
Okay. Would you be friends? Be friends. Would you let somebody you haven't seen in years come and stay with you?
Depends on why we haven't seen each other.
Okay, what if they wronged you?
Probably not.
Okay. Does it depend on what the offense is?
It takes a lot.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Like okay, let me, just in case somebody out there is listening and we're no longer friends for whatever reason.
Shit got real.
It takes a lot. Like you have to really screw up.
Okay.
I think there's only 2 people. 3. There are 3 people that I can think of immediately in my mind where I was like, we're no longer friends.
Like definitively?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody else is just, I moved, or they moved, or it fizzled, or they had a baby, or, they or I had a baby. I don't know, whatever.
You had a baby?
You know what I mean?
You had Buster.
I had 2. But you know what I'm saying? Like everybody else in my life that has been in my life that maybe isn't in my life anymore, 99.9999% of the time, it just fizzled.
Right. It's part of adulting.
Fixing my hair again. Yeah.
I feel that. Okay, that's fair. Okay. So let's shift then. If it's not a friend, say, okay, your kids, if you had kids. and they're growing up, obviously. We all do. At what point do you kick them out? Is there an age limit?
I would say it's okay, boss.
He said, I'm going to be on the episode today.
He's so nosy. He's so nosy. I would say with kids, it is a little different.
Okay.
But I think there's a balance to it. You need to say, all right, go.
Okay.
You're welcome to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very least, try.
What age do you say try?
22?
Okay.
Like if you're 22
mm-hmm.
and you don't really have a job.
Okay.
And you're not really going to school.
You're not doing anything basically.
You're not doing any of the two immediate choices after college.
Right.
22. I need you to take a shot. You don't have to go far.
Right.
But I need you to at least try it.
Okay, what would you define as some form of effort or trying? What would signify their
try
trying?
for 2 years.
Try what exactly?
Like, get your own place.
Okay.
I'll help you find a place.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for it.
Okay.
On time.
Okay.
Let's go to the grocery store. Hopefully I've helped you figure out how to man the grocery store, all that stuff.
Right.
Balance a budget, things like that. You know, those kind of conversations.
Okay.
Try it for 2 years. If at the end of that 2 years, you have failed miserably.
You're a hot mess.
I don't know what to tell you, but you're welcome to come back.
Okay.
And we'll try it again. We'll reset.
We're going to retrain them.
But you're going to keep that job and you're going to pay rent here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Contribute something to the household besides
you're going to pay
additional bills.
You're going to, Kimber one, you saw that. You waited for me as I took a sip of my drink for me to respond.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you, sir. So that's why I wait till you stop. But no, I think for my kids, I think you have to be doing, like you said, you have to be doing something. I don't care if it's, even if you're a starving artist and you painting shit in our garage and you're trying to figure it out, you're still trying.
No.
It may not be my ideal, the perfect idea.
Maybe
of
have
trying.
a day job.
Yeah. Have a plan A.
Work at Taco Bell.
Yeah. Have something while you're trying to do that. Even if you're trying to be an aspiring rapper, fine. I ain't mad at that. There was a time I was trying to be an aspiring rapper. Clearly that failed.
It was
miserably. I had a bunch of songs. Thank you, sir. But no. So, but I don't, regardless, I don't need them to have it all figured out at 19, 20. Because culturally, black people, we tend to kind of put our kids on that. Go to college, go away. But other cultures don't do that. Like I've noticed I'm not sure which Arabic cultures, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but there is, I forgot, it might be all of them. I think for the women, if they don't enter like the working force, they kind of do what you said, like you can stay home, you go to school, et cetera, maybe work like a job, but not something like killer. And then once they get married, then they leave the home. But I think they also groom them.
I think that's culture.
Is it culture?
I think in their culture, you don't leave
until you get married. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense. What's the rush? I mean, I hate to say it. What is the rush? If you're in your early 20s, you're trying to figure it out. Because most people don't have it figured out at 20, 21, 20, you know what I mean?
Well, and that's why I was saying 22. At 22, if you're not at least
the beginning,
waiting tables and trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're trying to be an actor or something. Like you got to do something.
If you're going to live, well, and the other thing is, let's say if you're gonna live here,
mm-hmm.
you don't necessarily have to pay me rent, but could you at least be saving money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let's sit down and we're going to say from your money every month, this is how much you would pay to live somewhere else. So let's practice that by putting that in a savings account. And now you have an emergency fund.
Yeah. You got some paper.
But you're at least like learning
how to adult.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I think that's what the key is. Do something. Don't just be in here laying on my couch all day.
But at 22, if you've not at least got a part-time job, minimum.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you get to a certain point, I'm not paying for your car note and your cell phone and your insurance, and you do nothing to contribute to this house besides exist.
Right.
As an adult, not as a child.
Right.
Because children are learning. When you're in your
Right.
early 20s, you're still, we learn every day. But you should have some grasp of, this is what it is to be an adult and pay bills. And
Right.
And again, if my kids is like, they've got their bachelor's, but say my son or my daughters, one of them is pursuing becoming a doctor or a lawyer. It's going to take a little bit more than just a 4-year school. You can stay at my house until you completely finish school, which is fine with me because you're striving towards something.
Right.
So if you, hypothetically, all three of them want to be doctors, they can stay at my house for 8 years of school plus whatever.
2-year residency?
I think some it's 5, but either way, if they come, they say, "Hey, Dad, I want to be a doctor. I'm going to school," and they are consistently going to school for the 8 years, and you hypothetically don't get to officially become a doctor till 20, let's say 28. You can stay at my house till 28 because you're working towards something.
Right. Right.
But you can't stay at my house till 28 and you ain't doing shit but running up my bills.
Right.
Because then you can run your own goddamn bills at your house, not at my house.
Right.
So I think that's the difference. You can run up these bills working towards something. You can't run up these bills chilling.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as long as you're moving in the direction of learning and adulting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see why you couldn't stay, even till you're 30, 35.
Yeah, if you're
40.
doing something, yeah.
You can even be there at 40 if you're, like, let's say you started the medical school much later.
Yeah.
And you're 40. You'll be 40 when you're done. There's nothing wrong with that.
But what you been doing until 40?
Well, let's say you were doing like other things. Like maybe you had a full-time job.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And you're like switching careers or whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant you hit 40 and go, I'm going to be a doctor.
Well, I mean,
where the fuck you been these last 20 years as a young adult?
True. But yeah. Well, but like, there's so many things that we as kids take on from our parents. And one of those things could, hopefully, like my parents they're workers. Like they're like, you go to work, show up for work, give your best at work every day.
Right.
Get that paycheck, use that paycheck wisely. Yeah. Is there anything negative? There's also, I was going to say, is there anything negative? But there's also negatives that we get from our parents sometimes because they have their own baggage that some, comes down to us. But you mentioned one time about children of divorced parents.
Yeah.
And how that may affect them. This might be a little bit of a leap. But thinking about like kids leaving the nest, like I wonder in divorce situations, is that like in my mind, when we were talking about this situation, it was me and Sir and, our children, we're still together, fostering our kids together. Right. You know what I mean? But then I think, oh God, a single parent, that might be even harder.
Yeah.
We're talking like perfect world,
right.
2 income family. So we're not worried about the bills. But I mean, if you're a parent of divorce or if you're a divorced parent,
right.
You may not be balling on a budget.
Or you might be balling on a budget.
You might be balling with no budget, with no money. And that would make it harder. Would that affect how the kids, what I'm saying?
Because when you come from a divorced household, you can take on your parents' divorce. You can take on responsibilities that you're not prepared for as a kid or young adult, whatever I would say a kid, but yeah, because you get put in situations where, do I become the man of the house? Am I now the new husband? Am I the stepdad to my younger siblings? I mean, and women go through it too. There's women who raise their brothers and sisters because their mom is working day in, day out. There's young men or boys who are working day in, day, or parent is working day in, day out. And you at home trying to figure it out because you're like, well, hell, my mom or my dad, whoever's the one remaining, they take care of the financial aspect, but then you in turn almost become a homemaker. And I think that causes children to grow up with resent towards the parent that left, or I think it can make you appreciate the parent who was there.
Okay.
And then some of the things you can take on the stuff of your parents that divorced, because some parents may put the whole your daddy wasn't shit, your mama wasn't shit, and constantly preach all this negative stuff, but that's their experience, not your experience.
Right.
But if you hold on to it, you may have a skewed perspective of one or both of your parents. And
are we getting into the daddy tissue episode?
No, sir.
Yeah, I hate when people do that though. When they're like, "Oh, your dad's a piece of crap."
Yeah.
And it's really, well, your dad maybe not is probably a fine dad. Maybe he just wasn't a great spouse.
Yeah. Right.
Those are two different things.
Right. And if it's your parent, they might, again, when your parents split or leave, they were never your spouse. They were your parent, your provider, your caregiver. That's a different role that they played in your life than being a life partner.
Okay.
And I think a lot of kids that grow up misinterpret that. I've seen some people, oh, I hate my dad. He was wrong to my mom and shit like that. He wasn't wrong to you. And that's two different things. You can't be mad at somebody for not being a good spouse to your parent when they weren't your spouse.
I mean, you can be mad.
You can, but it's not your responsibility to judge them as a spouse. It's your responsibility to judge them, not judge in general, but as a parent. That's a different dynamic, because their responsibilities as a spouse are totally different than they are as a parent.
Okay.
Not totally different. Obviously, you still need emotional support as a child as you're growing up, and different things. There are some similarities, obviously, but parenting is a distinctively different role than a significant other. And even as a child, your understanding of the world is totally different than as an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't really know the dynamic between your parents, because you're not either one of them.
Good point.
So your person could see it and go, oh, they were a bad person. But if you met another couple that wasn't neither one of them were your parent, and you just saw two people going through a divorce, you're not going to see it the same way as you see your own parents going through a divorce.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a difference. I would say it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But I would think that would also make leaving the nest harder.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because, I mean, especially if you're the sibling that takes on the parental role.
Yeah. You get worried, are you going to leave them behind and they just going to struggle? Because even if you weren't earning $1 million, but every little bit that you were doing trying to help
counted.
Yeah.
And mattered.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I just would hit the microphone. I mean, it may not confine you, but I think it can cause a conflict on the inside of, do I leave and go do what I've dreamed of doing? Or do I sit my ass right here and help continue to figure it out?
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that has
He missed his whole mouth.
Missed the whole mouth. Do you think that has an effect on their future relationship?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it can help you, though. If you've been not a housekeeper, a house, what was the word I said earlier?
Homemaker?
There you go, homemaker. If you learn how to tend
Stop relying on my memory.
If you learn how to tend to a household and things like that, that's good things you can carry over to your adult relationship. But At the same time, if you only harbor the negative shit, you could bring trauma into your adult relationships. You may be scared, like if one of your parents cheated or one of your parents is abusive, you may be worried about those things when you get into your adult relationship and the person may not even be abusive, but in your mind, they might have a similar personality to one of the parents or things of that nature. And then you start worrying about, well, will this person turn into that? Instead of just letting it be its own thing.
Apparently it's my turn.
Yeah. Do you think you can bring all that into it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it's sort of like anytime one relationship ends and another one begins, all the good and bad have the potential to go in the next one.
Oh, yeah.
It's up to you how you navigate those things to set yourself up for success in the next relationship. Because if you carry in all the bad stuff and none of the good stuff, then you set yourself up to fail.
Yeah, because that's all you know.
Right.
Okay. I feel that.
But you don't want half good, half bad to bring into the next one. You want to bring mostly you want to bring it, and when I say good, I mean like the things about the first relationship that you liked.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of sort of general examples of we kissed before bed.
Okay, cool.
That's a good thing that you would want to have in your next relationship.
Yeah, you want to continue.
That would be something good that's healthy.
Yeah. And
nurturing for growing together.
So what you do, you just drive by your ex's house, kiss him or her good night, and go on back to the house.
Got to work that out in the poly. It's getting that's in the murky waters of the poly. But I mean, that would be something that you should want to do. Yeah, you should want to kiss the person.
But I mean, like some of the habits that you may have, the good habits you may have developed.
Yeah,
it's okay to carry those over. And I would say it would be good to try to reduce the bad habits from a previous relationship or a childhood. Try to reduce the frequency, or if you can get rid of them completely, try to do that en route to the new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because if I died today, I would want only in his next relationship to
take all the good shit.
I would want him to look at our time together as good and want to do similar things with the next person. Okay,
you just said something that makes me think of something. Why do people say, "Oh, you wasted 5 years of my life" and shit like that? Like the amount when people break up, why do they always go? I think that's bullshit. Have we ever talked about that?
I think we've talked about this. I think we've talked about this at work.
Oh, but we never. Okay, cool.
I don't think we've talked about it on here.
Okay.
I think it may have been mentioned.
Do you subscribe to that?
Well, no. As someone who was rolling for 13 years.
You a ride or die.
I don't. A lot of people ask me, "Are you mad?"
Are you mad, bro?
I'm genuinely not mad.
You ain't supposed to be.
I learned so much. I had so many life experiences that I don't think would have happened had I not been in that relationship.
Right. Well, why do you think people say they wasted all this time then?
I think because they're angry.
But I think some people really believe that.
Well, I think some women. I think it tends to be women.
More often than not.
Because I hear a lot women saying, "I gave you 5 years of my youth, my beauty."
But they gave you the same shit.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they wasn't like abusing you for the last 5 years.
I'm aging like fine wine. I'm kidding. But I think that's usually how I hear it mostly.
I don't subscribe to that because the other again, unless you was like an abusive relationship for like 5 years, you know what I mean? As long as it was not some traumatizing thing.
Yeah.
Both people gave 5 or whatever the amount of time, gave that same amount of time.
Yeah.
So just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it was a waste.
I think that's a bad way to look at it.
If nothing else, it's a learning experience.
Right.
Everything should be not everything. Most things should be a learning experience.
Pretty much.
Because
everything.
Because something you can pull something from anything. Not even on some corny. Look at the brighter side of things. Like no, like you genuinely can pull something from everything you do.
I love that I have this camera one.
I'm about to knock your camera down.
I love that I have this camera because sometimes you'll be talking and all I've got to do is make eye contact with the audience in camera one and you'll go, "I hate you."
Hey, I'm just saying. I want you to know that I know that you know I hate you.
You're putting me on notice that you notice that I'm talking to the audience in camera one.
You stupid. Oh. Well, yeah. That's why I don't. Fuck it, we going there. I don't believe in alimony. That is why. That's part of why I don't believe in alimony.
What about prenup?
I don't know about prenups.
Do you think you can put no child support and no alimony in the prenup?
Hell yeah, if the other person agrees to it.
Do you think you can? I don't know. I don't know how prenups work.
I think it's a mutual.
I don't marry women. Sorry, girls. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, ladies. I know you're tore up.
Y'all are missing out.
Bachelor number 1.
But no, I mean, okay, I'm going to say, for my example, if there's no children, we should just part ways and you do you and I'm going to do me. I don't think no grown-ass person should get an allowance for the rest of their life from the person that they didn't. If I wasn't good enough for you to stay with, why is my money good enough? Because it's money. That's why.
I think there's a song about money.
There's a bunch of songs about money.
I'm glad you got the joke.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here's my thing about money.
Okay.
What I don't understand, and I think this may be outsider looking in to the heterosexual.
Over here.
There seems to be female rappers.
Okay.
There seems to be this one. There's a lot. You know, you got the WAP.
Okay.
That seems to be in everybody's song, the WAP.
Okay.
The other thing that seems to be in everybody's songs is I have money, but I'm using his money.
Yeah.
Or he's giving me his money.
Right.
Is that a brag?
Yeah, that's a humble brag. It might be a braggadocious brag.
I think that sounds dumb.
Wow. Why should I spend mine if you're going to let me spend yours?
Why spend mine when I can spend yours?
Yeah.
Lil' Kim. You know what that's from?
Nope.
Lady Marmalade.
Oh, yeah. Throwback.
Play these cats like Atari.
You stupid. But yeah, I think that when...
But I don't understand. But I think a lot of women feel that way.
What you mean?
Like, you mentioned in some episodes ago, I don't remember which one, women look for security in marriage, financial security, not necessarily wealth beyond, billions of dollars.
Right. Just a consistently...
But a consistent income.
Yeah. Which
is smart, not because you're a woman, but that's smart for anybody. Like, it's hard to date someone that isn't consistently going to work.
Yeah. Because they got to be broke. I mean...
Well, they're also showing you they're not consistent with a work ethic.
So what else are they not consistent
Correct.
about? Yeah.
So, I mean, it's that kind of thing, too. But, sorry, I was making sure this plant wasn't, like, touching anything. But whatever. The decor. Same decor.
I don't know. Again, if there's no kids, I think two people just part ways and leave it at that. But that's not how it works, though.
But I don't even understand, even if there's kids, I still don't understand if both people are involved in the kids' lives, why is there child support?
Because the laws have not been updated.
Well, duh. But I mean,
I don't even, yeah.
Mine is just legality.
Right. I don't know. Because if
Can you put that in the prenup?
What?
No child support.
I don't know. Okay, I got a weird question. What would you put in your prenup? If you had one.
What's mine stays mine, and what's yours becomes mine. I'm going to follow the raptresses, and I'm going to get your money.
Okay.
I'm going to keep my money, but I'm going to use your money.
Okay.
I feel dumb even saying that.
But there's some women who won't get... I know a lady that used to work at a jewelry store in the mall. This is late high school. She divorced her husband. She said she ain't never getting remarried, so she can get alimony for the rest of her life. Now, what if men acted like that?
I think they should.
What?
I think that men should start acting that way.
But it's...
They're not going to.
No.
And that's why it'll continue.
Well, I got better shit to do than worry about getting a divorce and then shitting on the person I was with. I liked them at some point, right? No?
Sorry, I took a bite. But I think there's that saying where there's a thin line between love and hate.
Oh, yeah.
You can't hate someone you never loved.
You don't think so? That was a dope line. You can't hate somebody you've never loved.
I didn't make that up.
Who made that up?
That's the real thing.
You
can't hate someone you never loved.
You can't?
Maybe that's just my paraphrasing of
a thin line between
there's a thin line between love and hate.
Then what do you get after you stop hating them?
I think it goes from love to hate to indifferent.
Oh, just not.
I think that's how time heals it.
I
can only hate somebody for so long.
Shit, there's some people out there, they holding on.
Well, I will say there are two people from school.
You still hate?
That were No, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I'm not seeking them out. If they caught on fire, I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't pee on them?
No.
To put it, damn.
Probably not.
So if they were on fire, you wouldn't pee on them to put the fire
I also wouldn't watch it.
Oh, you just walk on and be like, enjoy.
I'd be like, he's fine. No need to call the fire department.
I don't think there's anybody I hate.
But I don't hate them, though.
You damn sure don't love them.
I never loved them.
Then why you wouldn't pee on? So you went from...
Because they're assholes.
Oh, okay. Did they wrong you, or you just...
I mean, I was one of many.
Oh, it was a collective wronging.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think... I don't know. Because like you said, you go from like, love, to hate, to indifferent. Do you think you ever go backwards?
I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works.
What do you mean?
I think once you've hit indifferent,
That's the end.
there's no back. I think in hate, there's some backspacing you can do back into love. But I think once you hit the indifference, true indifference.
Oh, not just portray like I don't care, but you actually do give a fuck.
Right.
You just don't show it anymore.
Right.
Ah. What if, even with time, you don't think you can go circle back and go from indifferent to love?
Mm-mm.
So do you think two people who split up, had a kid together, they ended up hating each other, they put each other through the child support, the whole ringer, hypothetically, the whole ringer, I'm trying to paint my picture.
Uh-huh.
They go through the ring of divorce, child support, all of that stuff, and they get to the point where they're just like very, like you said, genuine indifference. They're cordial because they share a kid together, but there ain't no love, there ain't no hate. It's just, we got a kid together and our kid ain't grown. You don't think it can ever circle back to them fixing it?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
Why you say that?
Let me fix my hair.
The hair flip.
True indifference. You don't care either way. Genuinely. And it's not a malicious don't care. It's I've moved on.
Ah.
And so if you've truly moved on, what you going back for?
Ah. But I mean, what if you were like high school sweethearts, or you were just like super young and you say I don't know, y'all done kind of got old and maybe like 50 and neither one of the people never ended up with another person. And you just kind of like, fuck it, let's die together.
I think that's called a death buddy.
What the fuck is a death buddy?
A death buddy. It's just like, look, I don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. Fuck, let's just do it.
But what if
That's not, we love each other.
Oh, it's more so we'll have sex, we'll hang out and just die together at some point.
Maybe not even have sex.
I don't need no death buddy. They ain't gonna give me no booty.
You're not going to have a death buddy.
Oh, okay.
There's some requirements. I'm giving the synopsis.
Oh, the very general,
not
broad,
the details.
Oh, okay. Huh.
But yeah, that's a death buddy.
That's a real thing?
Yeah.
You know anybody?
I know someone who tried.
It didn't work.
The other person wanted sex.
The fuck? They were like, hold on, bro.
They didn't want a death buddy.
They wanted a
They
booty
wanted
buddy.
a booty buddy. Not a booty buddy.
That's the name of this episode, a booty buddy.
Yeah, they want a booty buddy, not a death buddy.
Were they younger or older?
I mean, they were older than me.
Were they closer to the end than the beginning?
I mean, once you hit
40 is the halfway point.
only if you die at 80.
I mean,
But if you live it to 95,
then 47 and a half is the halfway point. Ain't 47 plus 47 94, and then the half is 95. So 47 and a half would be the halfway point.
Okay.
We don't know our halfway point. I'm just saying, based on stats, most people die in their 80s.
oh, 7.5. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
I ain't that stupid. I'm kind of smart
No, I
sometimes.
had to. That wasn't about you.
Oh.
I was over here doing math in my head, and I went, "Oh God, I don't think I'm gonna make it."
Yeah, 47 and a half.
I'm not the brightest bulb.
Me neither.
You always say you're not the brightest bulb, and I think you do it so I don't have to say that I'm not the brightest bulb. But I think Only's figuring out that I'm not the brightest bulb.
You stupid.
I try to sound smart every once in a while.
Ain't no wrong with that.
I think I'm a little dumb.
Anyway.
Don't you think? I mean, no, you don't have to agree.
self-deprecating.
No,
I'm not
no.
agreeing.
You don't have to agree. But I realized the other day, I was like, I think I might be the dumb one.
On the pod? Hell no.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought, I'm not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not, oh, I wish upon a star that I was smart. It's not one of those kind of things. It's just, I'm like, I don't think I'm the brightest bulb. And I'm okay with that.
You've come to be indifferent about it?
I'm accepting. I'm at acceptance. I'm not indifferent because I kind of like it.
Okay.
Indifference, it's a don't care.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of like when you're going to shopping with your girl, and she goes, "I'm going to try on these 975 outfits. I want you to tell me which one you like."
And after the fourth one, you don't give a fuck no more.
I love that you said 4.
Yeah, I'm not.
After the first one, if I go, "That looks great," don't do number 2. Stick with that one.
Okay.
Because at number 2, if it's not drastically different, and it never is. If it's not drastically different,
you don't like women.
No, it's not about that. I'm saying for your example. I'm also talking about men.
Oh.
The gays also go shopping together as well. If you outfit 2, if it is not a different outfit, which it never is.
Okay.
Men or women. I'm saying women for your example.
Oh, okay.
Just translate, it's men on my side. But outfit number 2, if it's not a totally different outfit, I'm okay. First one was fine. Let's just go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm not. I think if you're not I want to sit here and watch a runway show type of person.
No, I'm not.
Don't try
Unless
to
it's
make
revealing. Now, if it's a young lady, she got trying on negligee, cool. I don't need you to try on.
But I need, okay. If the first, okay, let's say men's lingerie.
We don't have lingerie. We got silky draws. That's
We
about
do.
it. We do?
Mm-hmm.
No, the hell we don't. We got silky boxers, silky briefs,
All right, let me tell you this.
and them short robe sets. What them shits called? They're like that silk or whatever, satin. It's like a robe, but it's short, and then it comes with a pair of shorts. That ain't lingerie for no man. That's sleepwear.
Okay.
Okay, well, I've never seen no lingerie from men. I put that way.
Let me say this. Men's
But banana hammocks?
sexy wear, whatever.
He said sexy wear.
If the first outfit, let's say it is silky short.
Okay.
Outfit number 2, if it ain't a thong or a jock
You
strap.
need to get smaller.
What I'm saying is, if it is another silky short
Just
in
a
a
different
different color, which is what it always is,
You don't want to
kill yourself. I ain't trying to sit here for the runway show.
Oh, okay, I feel you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but if you like, let's say for the female example, let's say if the first thing you come out in is a mini skirt and like a cute top.
Right.
If the next thing isn't a gown, I ain't got time to see this.
Oh, okay.
Like it needs to be, the fashion show doesn't need to be 10 short skirts
Just in different
with
colors.
a shirt.
Yeah, I feel you.
Kill yourself.
I feel you on that. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I need her to gradually reduce the amount of material on her
Or
body.
more material. Start
Yeah.
with,
It needs to be a varying
there needs to be
outfit,
differences.
Yeah. Okay, I can dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that on.
But if you want me to choose between 8 colors of the same shirt, girl.
Oh, got you. Yeah, I'm not.
Or
with
boy.
that. Yeah.
Boy. Really?
I feel on
Get
that.
the hell out of here. That's what I mean.
You're terrible.
Oh.
Let me see. Did you want to?
Okay. So we're talking about the email, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You respond because I already responded in actual email.
We look. We forgot to look at the email again to refresh our. Oh, we did. No. I got the notes. I got the notes. Sorry.
Got it. Wrote down in camera 3.
Camera 1's notice. Okay. So we got an email. First of all, thank you.
He's so gay.
At the nosy with good intentions at gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
I think here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Michael responded because I was, quote, taking too long to respond. It's been a day.
Not in real time.
But the email had some neat things and some neat ideas. The first one is I definitely want to talk about.
Okay.
Because I think that she hit the nose on the head.
Yeah.
Head on the nose. What is it called? Head on the nail. Head on the nail.
Head on it. I don't know.
Nail on the head. She hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, the head is the flat part of it. There you go.
So we were talking about the word normalize.
Mm-hmm.
And she put into words what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Removing stigma.
Okay.
So for example, her example, which was a good example, was mental health, medication, therapy. Those have stigmas of being negative toward the person, or they're, quote, crazy or whatever. But these are actual things that are so helpful to people that just have a bad year.
Right. And they should be normal things.
And these should be normal things that people can go and get help if they need it.
Right.
Or even if it's temporary or long term, either way. And so that removing stigma was what I was trying to explain.
Gotcha.
Was why we have to say normalize, because the stigma's out there. So thank you, mystery emailer. We forgot to ask for your permission.
Touche.
To read the email. Like we forgot to ask the person if we could use their voice note in their voice.
Yes.
Which, by the way, still no message, so I know they haven't listened. Okay. Also in the email was one idea. We sort of chewed on that. I don't think we're going to do it. Was word of the day.
I don't want to do that.
Essentially, word of the day has become your game of what's going to be the name of the episode.
Exactly.
But what we did like, and I think would be a good thing, is having people email specific questions. I think that would be great.
That would be great.
Because anything that sparks our nosiness is going to be on here. And we're going to derail off of it at least 5 times. But thank you for your email.
Appreciate you.
It was seen. Michael responded because I was, quote, taking too long. But I do think we should respond on here. I think that would be better, unless we're going to have any clarifying questions.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll respond through email. Okay. But I think our response should be here.
I'm with it. I am down.
Whether it's Instagram or not.
Okay.
But definitely the email. But email would be easier because then you can write more.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll look at the email.
You didn't look at that one.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I told you we had an email and you went, oh, I saw it.
Yeah, because I had already seen it.
But I told you, we have an email. So anyway, Gmail, nosy with good intentions at gmail.com is our email. Our Instagram is nosy with good intentions. We also have a TikTok. I forgot to do the paper.
That's all good.
We have a TikTok, nosy with good intentions. Then we tripped you up, Twitter, nosy good, fucked it up. Kept you on your toes.
You know, if you type in nosy with good intentions into Google, it shows all of them. Even the one that's not, that's at nosy good. Even though it's not the same.
Does it?
It does.
Well, that worked out nicely.
Exactly.
YouTube. Hi, camera one. Watch our video on YouTube. I think the videos are so much more fun.
Me too.
Because you make faces too.
Oh,
I thought I was the only one that made faces.
No.
And you make faces too.
And I make sure to key in on all of them.
But you also get to see the decor. We've got the decor now.
Oh, Lord.
It'll be a different setup next time because when the cameras go down and all this moves while I put it back, I'll never get it this way again. But anyway.
Oh, you're a hot mess.
Was that all of them?
Yeah. All right. Thank you for being nosy with us.
See you next time.